Hello, let's do a check-in with chapter 6 of the Scarlet Letter, Pearl. Pearl being Hester Prynne's out-of-wedlock child, and I guess the reason, well, the physical reason that she's, been accused of and convicted of adultery, because her husband is not anywhere near when she becomes pregnant with Pearl and gives birth to her before she is put on the um, public pedestal and shamed for a certain amount of time, imprisoned, finally released, goes to a cottage and is raising Pearl. And this is where we get sort of what Pearl's existence is, from very much from just a babe to being able to talk and walk around, and that Pearl is included in Hester's ostracization from the community, the shame from the community. She is a product of sin and is treated thusly. And it seems to be like an angry kid, a kid who is like, when she's alone and she's making up voices like a lot of kids do, she doesn't make up friends. She makes up enemies. She sees the dark looming trees as the Puritan elders, and all the roots around it as the children whom she happily just rips up out of the ground, and stuff like that. So that kind of gives you an idea of who she is. Um, Very much getting the sense through the description that Hester, and the community in general sort of view her as kind of a changeling creature, as an elf, as a demon, a little imp, a demon child. She's like being told that she is crap right from the beginning, that she's a product of sin, and she seems to be, kind of rebelling against this. There's the part of this, I don't know if she's picking this up from her mother, who is just all martyr, all just like taking the pain to her bosom. There's a really striking thing of saying, like, well, what's the first thing that little baby Pearl smiled at? And it was like, was it her mother's face? No, it was, you know, at her breast, at her eye level, because she'd be on the breast, that scarlet letter, and seeing that, and that was the first thing that gave her this grin, and it's a strange grin. Later, as a kid, she liked to gather up wildflowers, and what she'd do, she'd throw them at her mother. And what did she target? She targets that scarlet letter, hitting it many of the times. And Hester's first instinct is to put her hand on her bosom again to kind of protect it, but then kind of resignation, or maybe just a feeling of like, I deserve this. It hits her and it hits her, and each time it's this lancing pain, this sort of martyr thing, this sort of masochism of Hester, and it's always the bosom, which, um, I do think has, the breasts, the sexuality of Hester. And there's like this little spotlight on it. Is always at the center there. And Pearl is very much like exchanges with her mother. It's very much like, it's like, where did you come from, child? And it starts off kind of half joking, but it kind of ends up serious, of, saying like, well, we came from, our Father, who art in heaven. And she's like, I don't have a heavenly father. And it's like, she's poking at the scarlet letter again, saying that, which there's a sort of thing of the demonic side, like, well, is her father somewhere else? But there's also that thing of something, somehow her daughter knows, picked it up, that she is a product of sin there. So yeah, it's very heightened. All the kind of the language and the kind of perception in here, it's that hyper kind of, dark, brooding kind of, feeling throughout the book. And like, she's a demon. She could be a demon child. It's all kind of very heightened and lurid in its way, and lurid in a kind of a Puritan, dark, dark clothing, grim aspect people, but it's all very super intense religiosity, intense suppressed sexuality. There's that scarlet letter on her bosom. You can't help but think of Hester Prynne's breasts underneath it, I guess. At least I can't. That's probably me. And yeah, this demon child, a child that when Hester looks into her daughter's child, into her eye, you'd say like, oh, you can see the reflection of yourself in it, but the self that she sees in it is a demonic self, is a dark, brooding, spiteful self that she sees in her child's eye. And it's like you can see that a pearl is sort of a manifestation of maybe all the suppressed kind of anger and wildness in Hester Prynne herself. Hester, who is like, I am saintly, I am taking all the punishment to myself. I know others have sinned as well, but I'm taking it all to myself. I am the sacrificial goat. I'm the goat of this community. So yes, it's all very kind of heightened kind of stuff here. So that is my check-in with chapter 6, Pearl, by in the Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.